Okay, our last presenter, very exciting, doesn't really need an introduction for many of you, but for the folks that don't know, Lincoln Murphy has been a foundational figure in an entire evangelist for the customer success movement since the beginning of the movement. Lincoln's work has helped to solidify customer success as a mission-critical philosophy, function, and framework for companies of all sizes, scopes, and stages around the world. Just for a little show of his impact, round of applause if you followed Lincoln, talked to him, been inspired by him online. Amazing, right? I've learned so much from Lincoln Murphy myself, and I just love his energy and his enthusiasm and his creativity. So let's give it up for Lincoln Murphy.
What's up, everybody? Come on. I know we're at the end of a couple days here, but let me make some more noise. Let's get some energy. I need that. So awesome. Wow. Oh, well, okay. So first of all, I never thought I would be on stage at Pulse. Some of you may know. Some of you actually still don't seem to know. I used to work at Gainsight. Left there a couple of years ago. It's been a little bit over 2 years. Not that anything was bad. Just never thought I'd be on the stage. So when they said, hey, Lincoln, come to Pulse this year, send everybody home, make sure that we're all going to leave here and get some real value out of this event, not just while you're here, when you go home. I said, okay, that sounds cool. So this isn't going to be me teaching anything, which is awesome. This is going to be me being motivational. So I was like, okay, this is cool. I get to channel my inner Tony Robbins without the misogynistic undertones. Oh, it's getting real up in here. So, okay, here's the thing. Pulse, amazing, right? I mean, this is, I don't know what we're like 10 or 15 years into, only a few years, and it's so big, and it's so amazing. And the energy is so awesome. But there's a problem. And, I'm here to burst the bubble a little bit. You see, this is a bubble. This is a safe space. Pulse is awesome. We come together, we share knowledge, we share experiences. We share our business cards, especially if we're consultants. We share with each other. Customer success really is a community, and Pulse is the epitome of that. So what's the problem with that? On the surface, nothing. And in fact, there's nothing truly wrong with it. The problem, if there is one, is that it is a bubble. It's an echo chamber. We come in here and we say the things that we want to say about customer success, how important it is to the rest of the company, how important it is to society if you take it to the extremes like I do. Is this a problem? Again, on the surface, it doesn't seem like it. But when we get together and we share best practices, we talk a good game. And let's explore that for a second, talking a good game. There's a lot of people in here talking 2018 tactics and strategies who, if we're honest, back at the office, we're doing like 2014, 2015 strategies and tactics. That's real. Is that a problem? It's not a problem, except we're all sort of sharing in these ideas of where we think this thing can go. Sometimes this safe space, it's not really where we do get real. But that's okay. Still, we're learning, we're moving, we're excited. We have that excitement, which is what I was here to bring, and I have thus far failed miserably. It gets better, I promise. But I'm just getting real with you. The reality is when we're in these safe spaces, when we're in these echo chambers, we can share all this great stuff. But as soon as we leave here, we get on that shuttle, we go back to the hotel, shit gets real fast. I work with a lot of companies around the world, all different shapes and sizes, different stages as both a company and different stages when it comes to adoption of customer success and customer success management practices. I see so often the best of intentions. And then I see the execution behind those intentions. They're not so good. So when I see an event like Pulse and I see everybody get excited and take so many notes and meet so many people and do so much awesome stuff in the course of those 2 days, I don't want to see that die at the sidewalk. I don't want to see that excitement lead to nothing. I want to see you go back to your office and take this amazing experience that you had here and actually put it into practice. Again, we all have the best of intentions, but as soon as we get back to the office, what happens? We're putting out fires. Maybe we're putting out a lot of fires, especially the fact we were gone a couple days. Again, it's real. Putting out fires. We're doing things, and like I said, this is a safe space, right? So I can be honest here, right? So sometimes it's not just that we're putting out fires. It's sometimes we're hiding. I just got back from this event, spent some of the company's money. Oh my gosh, what if they want me to show some sort of ROI on that? Oh man, what if that leads to me having to show ROI on this whole customer success thing? Oh, that's not good. So we hide. I'm supposed to get up here and give you a call to action. Now that's because that's what I said I wanted to do. That's not, nobody told me to do that. That's the title I came up with. But then I was thinking about what is a call to action. We're all professionals. We're all smart. We're open-minded. Obviously, we come to events like this and we learn the latest and the greatest. We share, we accept new knowledge. Okay, so what's going on there? Well, one of the biggest things that I see with those companies that I mentioned that I work with, the biggest problem I see is a lack of action. So when it's time to give you a call to action, simply telling you to take action isn't enough. So I came up with some things to leave you with that you will be able to take away and hopefully execute on. But I want to talk about something a little bit deeper than that. You see, some of you may be familiar with the thing that I say around churn. Churn is a symptom of an underlying disease. Churn is not the problem. So when we talk about churn and somebody says, we're going to focus all of our attention on saving customers. Well, you're always going to have to save customers because you're always going to have churn because churn is not the problem. Churn is the result of something else, which may give you some insight into how I think about stuff. I want to get to the why. I want to get to the core. What's really going on here? So when I say that there's a lot of inaction in the customer success management world, which is not to be confused with there being not enough activity. There's a ton of activity, a lot of people talking about stuff, but when it comes to action, there's not as much. So why? Why is that a problem? Why, when you leave here and you get into the real world, does the excitement that we have from here, all of the data, all of the intel, all of the knowledge that we've shared, that we've gathered, that we've learned, that we've validated, why does it not continue? It's because this, and I don't know why this is the case, but it just is. Customer success, in general, still today, 2018, unfortunately, not considered the same as other parts of the business. Would sales continue to do what they've been doing for years, not knowing whether or not that's delivering results? No. Would marketing? No other part of the business is going to be allowed to operate that way. In fact, the leaders of those parts of the business are not going to even think about things that way. You know what success looks like. You create a plan to get there. You find out whether or not your hypothesis was actually correct, and if it is, you double down, and if it isn't, you pivot. Not to oversimplify, but it's kind of that simple. But in customer success, a lot of times, even the catalyst for why the company wants to do it isn't even clear. You guys know why you're here. You believe in this, you're bought into this, you're at the closing keynote. I'm adding 0 tactical value. It's like listening to the pitch on like NPR. You're just listening to them ask for money. Here you're just listening to me waste 20 minutes of my day. No, I love this. I hope I'm not wasting yours. Here's the thing. If you don't understand why you're doing something, you cannot know whether or not you're going to be successful at it. In the very early days, oftentimes, the catalyst for customer success, and I mean early days, maybe it's an early stage startup, maybe it's a 20-year-old company who's trying to bring customer success in. In the early days, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of, even if the excitement isn't based in any sort of logic, there's just excitement around this new thing that we're doing. Often the driver, the catalyst for customer success still is some sort of outward pressure, whether it's investors, whether it's just CEO went on a CEO summit, and everybody else is doing customer success, so now we're going to do it. We spin up a customer success operation, put you in charge. Oh, I'm not going to give you any budget or any direction or really even know how this is going to be successful. And then a couple of years later, you're still in that situation. Only now you really don't want to rock the boat. You really don't want to let them know, hey, by the way, we're doing customer success here. It's I don't know if it's having an impact, but you certainly don't want to let people know. Way too often, and I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that this is resonating with at least some of you based on the looks you're giving me. But I'm not here to make you happy, I'm here to make you successful. Here's the thing. No other part of the business would operate in a way where we don't know what success looks like, and we really don't want to bring up anything for fear of maybe getting fired, maybe having the entire initiative shut down. But I know that a lot of you, in your LinkedIn profile, you call yourself a customer success leader. If you really are a customer success leader, then that's a situation you wouldn't allow yourself to get in. If you have allowed yourself to get into that situation, that's a situation you will not allow yourself and your company and your team to stay in. What I don't want is for you to walk into Pulse having that be the reality, learn a bunch of cool stuff, meet a lot of cool people and those consultants, and then walk out of here in the same situation. And in 6 months, it's the same situation. So, what's the call to action? I'm trying to take you on this emotional roller coaster. We're down here now. And only a couple of people have left, so like I said, I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys are bought in. But I know for a fact that just because you're bought into this doesn't mean everything's great back on the farm. So, what's the call to action? It's a 3-part call to action. First of all, and I mean, this is going to be a little bit tactical, it's how I think and how I advise people all the time to work when it comes to customer success leadership. And that is, number 1, take this note, write this down, do something, because this is really important. I want you to speak up. Speak up. What do I mean by that? I was literally sitting in a meeting with the leader of a customer success organization. We took a little break, and I noticed that they were checking their email, and the face kind of lit up. I don't know, I was just like, hey, what's going on? I mean, oops, maybe that was actually like a personal email, but I didn't think about that. I said, hey, what's going on? Looks like good news. And they said, yeah, for the first time, we just started getting more revenue from our existing customers than revenue that was brought in from new sales. I said, cool, that's amazing. Send that to the CEO. And they said, I don't want to bother him. What? I would accidentally send that to everybody. I mean, like, if we want to be leaders, we're not just here to lead our team. We're not just here to lead this initiative. We have to lead the company. We have to lead the entire organization on what customer success is. We have to continually advocate for this. We have to continually evangelize for it. I spent the last few years, calendar-wise, but probably a whole bunch more in-person years, doing that on a global scale, trying to evangelize this concept, trying to get this out there into the world as much as I can. That's a job that I've chosen to take on for some weird reason. You have to do the same thing inside the company where you work. I don't care if you're a CSM at an entry-level position, right out of school, right out of training, whatever, or if you are the VP or CCO, for sure, this is your job. But if you identify as a leader, this really is your job. You're not just there as a supervisor. You're not just there to make sure that the reports get turned in on a weekly basis and that the CSMs seem to be checking all the boxes. You're not just there maybe to report metrics to somebody else or to even go to the board yourself. If you do that, this is definitely your job. You have to speak up. What value are you bringing? I'll give you a little secret. Speak up on the positive things first. When you go out, when you leave, like, seriously, like, go figure out what our best customer, what do they look like? What are their characteristics? What are the use cases that we find to be successful? Something, and then go back to sales and say, maybe this will help you make more sales. What you're telling them actually is, secretly, here's what a great client looks like. Be thinking about this when you're trying to find new ones. But you're also giving them something that they can use to hopefully close more sales, close sales faster, resonate better with the customer. Maybe even manage expectations properly ahead of time. Second, I want you to stand up. Not actually stand up, it's cool. This doesn't mean physically stand up, but I want you to stand up when you see things that are not in line with this customer success operating philosophy that, in theory, our company has adopted. I've quit jobs. I've walked away. I'm not saying you should do that. Think about things first. But if you are a leader, it's not always the checklists you come up with, the playbooks you come up with, the schedule, all that stuff. It's your actions. Are you going to the board, even though you might not be invited? Are you going to the other C-level executives? Are you going to other parts of the company and advocating for customer success and being present and stepping up? If you're not, and other things aren't happening around customer success management in your company, I can probably show you why. So think about that. I want you to speak up. I want you to stand up. And third, I want you to change up. Is something not working? Does something need to be optimized? Do we need to pivot on something? Is sales closing bad fit customers? And I have not actually done any analysis to quantify why that's a really stupid idea. I might complain about things. Most likely, I'm not actually complaining about things, because at least that would be speaking up. So I want you to change up. I want you to be willing to fail. Customer success management organizations are way too often led by people who will not accept outright failure. So you know what they do accept? Like low-level mediocrity. Try something. Take a stand, come up with a hypothesis, and go for it. That's how you're a leader. And if you have leader on your LinkedIn profile and you're not doing those things or some equivalent, you don't have to do exactly what I say, but are you actually leading with your actions? And if not, delete that shit. Take action. Customer success management is kind of on, we're right there, man. How can we push this further? We all say this is a great industry, a great career, all those things we say in this echo chamber, but what do our actions show when we leave? So I want you to speak up, stand up, and change up so we can make customer success management the default way that business is run. We can make customer success the default operating philosophy of companies. That's my goal. It's a big goal. It's a big challenge. I need your help. But it's not about me needing your help. It's about you being able to help your customers who you claim to be the champion of. Are you taking action that backs up your words? That's my call to action for you guys. I'm excited about the future of customer success. I'm excited about what you guys can do, and I thank you so much for your attention. This was an awesome Pulse. Thank you guys so much for being here.